Well, guys, it has been quite a while since I've uploaded a video, and as most of you know, we are still in Soledad in the same marina, but we are getting ready to leave. As a matter of fact, today is Friday and we're leaving Wednesday. We should get a weather break. Weather has been rough over here, to say the least. Very high winds, and when it would die down, there would be another front coming right behind it. So yeah, we're getting ready to leave, and stay tuned.
I dream of sailing. You know I always dream of sailing. Take me far away, sailing. You know I always dream of sailing. Freedom on the seas, my love. Dancing on the waves toward places we don't know. Loving life Mercado style and steady as we go. I dream of sailing.
Anyway, I decided to bring out the camera, even though we're not leaving today. But well, there's a nice visit from a nice sailboat. It's going to be docking right over there. Little update is, you can see my windshield is a mess. It established a crack over here, and I've been going crazy trying to find a company that would make a windshield replacement for both of them, because color, and they're both glazed, crackled, I don't know what to call that, but a lot of crackling, almost like scratch lines that you can see there. So the only place that I could find that would make one was in the US, so in Florida mostly. So actually that's where we were heading. We were gonna head to Florida and have the boat hauled out in the same boatyard that we've done in the past. Have a company come down, remove the windshield, take it to their factory, make one out of this one. They use this for a mold, and install it. Well, the marina that we've been out a few times over there in Key Largo, I'm not saying that they're ridiculously expensive, but hauling out a boat and keeping it on the dry for any period of time is expensive. And then everything you buy, you gotta buy it through the marina, so that gets expensive. And then any work you have done, they surcharge another 30% yard fees. So this haul out for 10 days was probably going to cost me $10,000 without the cost of the windshield, because I have to do a bottom paint anyway, so I would be buying the paint from them and certain supplies. And I had gotten an estimate from Portugal to do a haul out in the Algarve, and the haul out for 1 month, which they do, is 1 month subscription if you're going to go for any period of time, or at least that's how it was written up for me. 1 month is $1/4 of that price. It's just under $2,000 for the month. So I figure I'll do that. I figure I would do that, and the time that I have for 1 month, I'll be able to work my hardtop, paint my mast, take my sails down, have them redone, buff the bottom of the boat, and take out the windshield and have it professionally installed, maybe maybe I can get a company over there that would at least buff it for us, seal it and buff it, of course. So I will see. But that's the plans right now. Well, we are getting ready to depart. Our paperwork is ready, so we can go to the marina, pay out the last week that we stood. We were for us to go and start getting this departure on the way. Boat the way it is right now seems to be running okay. All the instruments check out. New chart plotter with local maps. And once we check out, then we'll be unplugging from the shore power and the water hose and untying it, and we'll be on our way for a 7-day journey to Portugal. Okay, so we checked out at the marina. It was nice.
Pleasant,
Yeah, it was-
easy going.
Yeah,
They're gonna miss us.
we'll see.
I think they say that to everybody.
Yeah.
But either way, we're on our way to immigration.
We have checked out.
We are officially free to travel.
Yeah.
Not that we were ever being held captive, but we're
Very
free to go.
pleasant experience. On both ends. Both at the marina, we're very
Immigration.
hospitable and accommodating, and at immigration was a piece of cake. I was actually a little bit worried about the immigration because when we checked in, we still did not have our Portuguese passport or the
Cartão Cidadão,
yeah.
the Portuguese identification card.
Yeah, the neutral is saying we're neutral Portuguese born.
We're natural Portuguese, so
Natural.
we're not neutral.
Yeah, natural. Sorry. So anyway, on the checkout, they did not reference that because when we checked in, they said we only had the American passport. They said you got 90 days. It's been a year and a half. So on the checkout, he pulled out the paperwork and done. And welcome.
Yeah, and
I
Albert,
hope you come back.
And Albert insisted on me coming with him in case he did anything illegally. We'd both go to jail.
Yeah.
Go figure.
They asked how long of a trip. I said 7 days, depending on the wind. And that if we were being a little bit too slow, Fatima would eat some extra beans. Blow some air. The owner of that red boat, sailboat up ahead, she's a little rough, but
Katanga.
Katanga. The owner is Australian and he's been in the Azores, what, for 7 years?
Yes.
And even though I had to talk to him in the past, but did not know him. Well, just this week, because we had an electrician come up to the boat and do some work, a reference from him. He came over and oh my God, does he have some stories to be told. It was unbelievable what we were hearing from him and what he had to go through just because he did some work for on the boat that had some ties to cartel. He was looking at 20 years, 25 years imprisonment just for that, and he went through hell to get himself cleared from that in a
Prison and the
Spanish prison. Yeah, he was sent to that there to spend his time. So unbelievable crime.
Yeah, watch this.
Any drug-related crime over here is almost
That's
punishable
not
by
too bad.
death.
Jeez. Like that.
25 years imprisonment. That's like
For an old man, yeah.
that's like murder.
Well, here we are. We just left St. Michael Azores. Yes, that's St. Michael Azores in the distance. We left at 1:30. Been a great time. Spent a year and a half there. It's really too bad that the winters are rough over there. It's not. It's cold, rainy, and windy. But it was so nice getting back to our roots. Where's the dolphins? Sails are up, motors are off, engines are off.
And very light wind, only blowing at 10 knots.
Honey, I know. But when you don't do it for a long time, you know, it never came easy to me. What's that speed?
Wind speed is at 11 knots, and we're going 3 points. It's not showing the speed.
About 3.1?
3.4.
Yeah. So we'll get there sometime in the future.
Our trip should be 7 days if we average 120 miles per hour.
Right.
Tell them that.
And you just did! For the love of God! Maybe I'll do this at another time. I mean, my eye is hurting like crazy. Do you want to record a little bit?
Well, this is day 2 of our sails. And I know that I have not shown much of what happened on day 1. Basically, we left the marina. We left it with no wind. I mean, no wind whatsoever. We had like 2 knots of wind in most cases. My average speed for the first night was 2.5 nautical miles per hour. So that's what we were averaging. So I turned on one engine and I ran on the engine and sails, I want to say, most of the night. And I averaged out 4 knots during that time. One engine, under 2,000 RPMs. I know the props haven't been cleaned, so it was dragging a little bit. Well, this morning the wind was again not behaving, where I actually had to take the sail down, which I did. I rolled them up and I got a little bit better speed with that, believe it or not. And now I am sailing again, both the Genoa and the mainsail up. And the wind, what I predicted, what I looked online as far as the wind was, if I was to get to this point where I'm at, I would catch a pocket of wind that if I maintain the speed, I can stay with it for the next 2 or 3 days. If I fall behind it, then I will be in a dead calm pocket again, which was coming right behind. But the wind pocket that I needed was traveling westerly, the same way, or easterly, I'm sorry, easterly, the same way that I'm going towards Portugal. But we're not making super speeds. As some of you know, I upgraded my chart plotter. I've reconfigured my console over here, even though I got one instrument over here, which is the tridata, which is not working. As far as the depth goes, yeah, this one is still not working even on that. But the depth is funny because I'm in 11,000 feet of water. But the depth sounder, when it goes over a certain range, because it's only 3 digits to start off with, it goes into a last reading that it took on a very low number. Sometimes 30 will give me a range of 30 feet, and it will stay with that. And that was the last reading that it took. And well, I gotta say, this has definitely been the worst sailing experience I've ever encountered. Seas are huge. Winds have clocked it up to 54 knots. It started yesterday evening, and it came like all of a sudden. You know, we were doing 15, 16 knots of speed, and all of a sudden 30, 40, of wind, and all of a sudden 30, 40, 50 knots of wind on us. So I was able to reef a little bit. I already had one reef on the main. As you can see, things are still rocking around, but this is nothing already. So I furled in the Genoa in the front, and was able to maintain some sanity. Things were flying around in the boat. It ended up being so bad that I did a maneuver that I had never done for the first time. I heaved to. And basically, for those of you who are not sailors who don't know what that means put the brakes on. So you turn the wheel all the way up against the wind or into the wind, and you put the sail on the opposite side, and that kind of holds you at a standstill. So with that heave to, I was still traveling in the direction, believe it or not, about half a knot to 1 knot of speed. So did that. When it calmed down slightly, this is another problem that I've been dealing with to aggravate the matter. I'm in 6,000 feet of water, and my system is telling me that I'm below that limit. It's showing that I'm 9 foot 3 inches, which is crazy. I know this thing does not read when you get excessive depthness, because it's only a 3-digit on the instrument itself. So the most you could go up to was 999, and I don't think I've ever seen it hit that. Once it hits a certain point, it defaults to some odd random depthness. Maybe it catches a fish on it or something like that. That activates that as the depth, and then it goes crazy. But generally, I don't keep getting alarms. Well, with this one, I'm getting alarms every 2 minutes. It starts beeping. That will change slightly. That 9.3, that will go up to maybe 12, and then drop down to 6. It's crazy. So anyway, between the heavy winds, there it goes again. And I have to acknowledge. So between the heavy winds and the huge waves, well, things, as you can see, are a mess. Venomous plants been going all over the place. They piggybacked. That over there, that plant just went flying over there. So got a little bit of cleanup to do. And well, here's the other end of the instruments. Well, I'll tell you one thing. It sure is good that I put that chart plotter inside. It makes life so much easier. This one, the only thing it has that one doesn't have is radar. But yet, the other one has AIS, which to me, at night, is really, really crucial, because it tells me if there's other ships coming in the vicinity. And yeah, so I was able to monitor that a few times. Monitor ships that were coming not too close. The closest was 2.5 miles on one of them from us. On a big sea like that, you know, you got to think about it. That's, what are the odds? But anyway, and the seas right now are actually a little bit better because I'm actually able to come out here. But it's been pretty bad. Oh, there's that damn alarm. I can't leave it for a minute. So anyway, I've tried my luck at fishing and nothing. But these seas a little while ago were jumping over and hitting the windshield. Was more favorable, if that's even possible, but it was. The direction we were going more like with the waves. This one, the direction we're going sideways on the waves. So if I turn into the waves, well, I'm going pretty much off course. And if I turn with the waves, well, that puts me in the exact opposite direction. So the wind is favorable in the direction that it's blowing. It's this is a wind for good speed, but you can't do the speed if you you can't do the speed with these waves. I mean, literally, it looks like the boat would come up and turn sideways, and you know, where it would put you in a dangerous situation of the possible flip over with those high winds and the assistance of the waves rocking you that bad. Well, gotta go inside. I'm not. Hello there, how you feeling? Yeah, Fatma. Leaving the marina, putting up the fenders. She
taking down the fenders.
Well, taking them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I said. Taking out the fenders. Well, the end of the line, I don't know how she managed to do that, but she did. Hit her cornea. Hit her eyeball, and she's been with a patch on her eye for 3 days, and very sensitive to light, but she says it's getting a little bit better. Now she can at least open it up a little bit even during the daytime, but not look at bright lights. So eating over here, well, that's kind of We ate okay the first couple of days. Which we had almost no wind the first 2 days.
Right.
And then when it came, it was like voila. And I looked at the weather forecast prior to leaving, and I was saying that actually I needed to maintain a certain speed to catch the trail of a little bit of wind that would give us 25 knots of wind gusts, 25 knots. So it's like, oh, okay, that's awesome wind for us. You know, like if we can maintain on that red strip and just follow it along, we'll be golden. But like within 2 days of that, it would have definitely passed us because it was going faster than what we would be able to go. And we would be again on the dead zone, no wind. And this just came out of the blues. I mean, like nothing predicted. We on board we have InReach, which is a sat phone, and the sat phone gives us some weather updates. As a matter of fact, that's what I got over here. Right now it's saying actually on my location 18 knots, but nowhere on this did it say anything about 50 knots. As a matter of fact, when I this has different times of the day and different days. So I'm already on Saturday over here, and if I look at any of those, it tells me okay, knots gusts up to 25.7 knots. Well, that's what it said for yesterday, and it did not say anything about 50 knots. I clocked a little while ago 54. And like I said, and 54 is not to say, well, it's windy. I mean, 54 is heavy, so I shouldn't say that. But we've dealt with 54. It all depends on the sea state. 54, you reef in if you're going with the waves. You know, you do good speed. You don't overpower the boat, but you maintain a good ratio. And I wouldn't say it's a most comfortable ride, no matter what, because you know seas do build up with those winds. But if you're going with it, it's a little easier. You do get a lot of slamming on the bottom. I mean, that's needless to say. Even right now, going at 4.3, we're still doing slapping on the bottom. So the winds have died down all the way up to 22 knots, 14. So big difference from a half an hour ago. If that comes back again, which I have a funny feeling it will, I'll be sure to take out the camera and film some. So here we are again. It's been maybe 20 minutes since I stopped the recording, and the winds, well, just hit 40 knots over here. But yes, still got the same damn problem with the anchor alarm, which I don't even have set up. If any of you guys know what I need to do to fix this, although by the time this is posted, I'll be on the hard, and I will have an electrician looking at this, see if we can figure it out. I might need new those ST60s, which I mean, that's I hate to spend the money on them because they're not cheap. They're actually rather expensive. But anyway, just a little bit. I already turned the boat into the wind a little bit just to ease it up a little bit. And it's nasty out there. But now we got the rain. Wow. What an adventure. This trip has been pretty rough. If it could go wrong, it went wrong. Like this we're still on it, so that's a good sign. But the winds have been horrendous. The sea state, terrible. Things have been flying all over the place. I mean, literally. The boat looks like a hurricane. Okay, that was plans pretty much all went and blew away. I mean everything. Just crazy. To top it off, alarms been non-stop. As I mentioned earlier, the depth gauge doesn't really read true once you're in very deep waters. So it keeps beeping, giving me
Yeah.
these warnings. Anchor alarm, which is not even set up. But depth is
not
showing
rolling,
right
is
down
it?
17 feet.
Is
This
it
will
rolling
jump
up?
below 10. As soon as, there we go. As soon as it hits 10, alarm. So it is crazy. Autopilot and all that
Huh?
are working again.
Yes,
but
honey.
unable to keep track
The-
with the position. As you can see,
It's the preventer.
as you can see, I've lost quite a bit of my initial path that I was on. Because the winds really started about here, really heavy. And then I could not go into the direction that I needed to. The waves were so
What was what?
huge. And the sea
70.
state that I
75.
actually
Look,
did
but
for the very
look at the
first
top
time,
of
I, heaved to.
the mainsail, the way
So
it's attached.
basically, I
Does
stopped
that look right
for a
to you?
little while to get my thoughts together
Looks like
and
something's
figure out
missing.
how I was going to. Sorry about that. And how I was going to get the boat back in motion. So anyway,
Okay.
heave to. And I figured, well,
All right.
rather than
Hold the camera, I'm
set
gonna-
up heave, I might as well
Yeah.
make some southerly, easterly track.
Well, guys, this is how you sail on
45 plus knot wind. It was going, and the only
we-
southerly
an amazing
east
speed.
track that it wanted me to be able to go
16.4 knots.
was to bring me towards Madeira Island, which is almost straight south. And because of everything that was going on, we were actually considering changing our route plans. It's not like it's right next door. It would still be a hefty sail. So we would go there instead, or be there and wait for a weather window. I know that they don't have the marina that I would. Probably the marina wouldn't be able to facilitate me. So anyway, yeah, so we would have to go there, basically just wait for a weather break. And this was a weather break. I looked at my apps. Windy, and I thought I was going to have to struggle, which I did the first day and a half. I had no wind. And then it was a good sailing for a while. And then, like I said, it just went chaotic.
Sails. My sail bag is all leaning up. The top of the sail is all over there. My lazy jacks are broken.
So I've broken some of my cleats for my reefing because so much pressure. It's unbelievable the pressure that is put on these lines. I have almost no sail up on the Genoa. But I've gotten soaked. I've been out there tattered to do stuff to keep the boat going. But the seas, well, they're huge. Sorry, I'm going. Let me
we're doing average of 7.5. Right now, I just reached down a little bit. We're going around 8 knots. And we are going across to Portugal. And but this passage has been horrendous, dangerously disastrous. We have been here. Well, no, I'm sorry. We've made this route before to come here, and the wind, once we got here, pushed us way south, and I could not get out of it to go back north. I figured the only thing that it was doing was giving me to go to Morocco. So made a decision to come back to Santa Maria, which is the smallest small island next to San Miguel, which is over there. We made it over there, and we were stuck on irons. The wind was coming directly from where we needed to go. My only option when I got here was to go way up north on a backtrack or way down south, some crazy track again, and I could not turn the boat to go into this direction. Could only get it to go this way or that way. So it was crazy. We were fighting the boat for 2 days over there with that, trying to go, because they have a small marina. It's not what I wanted, but they had a marina over there. I figured, all right, we'll haul out over there. And after 2 days of being stuck, I decided, I looked at the weather, it looked like we had a favorable window to sail back this way. So that is what we're doing right now. We're sailing back. I gotta show you these waves as soon as I get a chance. Alright, but I gotta bring this up to my course. I want to make sure that I end up a little bit on the north side, because I can always turn down. If I'm down, I need to go north because the winds have a tendency to come from the north down. It will be kind of hard to get back on here. So rather shoot high and then lower the course, then shoot low, and then I'll be able to go a little bit higher on the course. But anyway,
So after it fell,
but Fatima has lost many of the packs. We still got dirt all over the place, broken parts, so very threw quite a few away because they were just all over the place. Inside, well, nothing stays in place. Things have thrown off the counters, the coffee maker has flown, so you name it. It has not been an easy sail for sure. Really a way to test both my abilities and my determination, I guess, because it's sort of I'm going to show you something. Water bottles. We lost some of our going over the side over there. That's wrapped up on this prop over there. So we have advantage once we get close to the marina. Either dive or get somebody to dive or get assistance from the marina, hopefully that they can guide us in with a dinghy or a boat or anything that will help us out. Somewhat control. Little late.
Said that.
Well, guys, it doesn't matter how rough of a passage we might have had up to now, but one thing is we still have been eating healthy and hearty. So today's Fatima has been kind of busy over here.
Yeah,
And,
making dinner, a little bit of shrimp Mozambique with rice. Because it's a good meal. It's a good hearty meal, so we enjoy it.
Yeah. So there goes.
And of course, on the boat, you can't use plates because you will wear your meal. So, a bowl it is.
A bowl will work. Actually, today I went out there. Today is actually a rather nice day for a change. We still got big seas, but it's pretty nice.
Oh, nowhere near as bad as they were before. What? We had 11-foot seas?
We had 18.
We had.
I don't know where you got 11 from.
At one point, you had looked and instead of 11. Anyway, okay.
So, yeah, but I went out there for first time. I walked around the front deck to see what kind of a condition we were in, which everywhere else we look is a disaster. But found a squid. Fatima
And he
wanted,
didn't bring it in.
Fatima wanted to make some calamari. But no, he looked a little dry for my taste. But yep, it was just laying there. No matter how bad things are, there's always good to look at.
There's always that silver lining
Always.
that you find and I struggle to see, but you find it.
Guys, you gotta say this looks good. What sailing channel has this kind of service? None, I tell you.
All right, my love, here you go.
So yeah, we are doing 6 knots straight downwind. And yes, that's an AIS target way out here fishing. Look them up. And we at 15 knots of wind, 17. It keeps fluctuating, but that's where we are. When it goes down too much, so does the speed. But we've been averaging, I guess, 5.5 knots over here in this area. It's been a slow day. I was expecting to have progress a little bit more, but with the problems we had last night, we only gained.
I'll take this.
You'll take what?
I will take the slower pace. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That was tough.
So anyway, yeah, yesterday we had a little mishap again where the wind died and then we lost the direction on the boat.
I don't know if I captured before, but last night we were still 10 miles away from the entrance to this bay, and we had just no wind, and the little bit of wind that we did have was directly in front of us. I was tired last night. After a while, I finally gave up and says, okay, I'm going to leave the boat on kind of a heave to, and because the water was too deep to anchor, and I knew what it was doing as far as that, and sure enough, this morning woke up a little bit more refreshed. The boat had traveled maybe 5 miles opposite direction of where we wanted to go. It could have helped me along and pushed me that way, but it didn't. So anyway, I got back on the helm, started twinking sails and trying to do everything I could possibly do, and the wind situation was still the same. I could head south, I could head directly north, but I needed to go east, and it just was not happening. I did a few turnarounds, donuts, see if I could come up wider, and that wasn't happening. So finally, I called the Pam Pam, because I knew without any engines, no matter what, I was going to need help pulling into the marina itself. But I was 5 miles away at the time from shoreline, not from the entrance to the marina, but 5 miles away. I called the Pam Pam. They responded. I said what I needed, what my problem was, and a towboat showed up from life assistance or whatever, showed up and towed us in. And when you get towed in, at least into a European country like Portugal, the boat that gets recorded that it was not functioning correct. You have to repair, of course. We wouldn't go anywhere without repairing, but once it's repaired, it goes through an inspection to make sure that the boat is seaworthy and trustworthy, that it's going to be able to navigate to your next destinations. So anyway, today was a kind of a costly day, because once you registered that your boat was not, you could not maneuver your boat on its own power into the marina, you have to go register in another area. Then I had to pay the taxes, which according to them, Ponta Delgada, San Miguel should have already put that surcharge of taxes on me, because it's a 6-month taxation you pay. It's not ridiculous, and considering I had the tow, but it cost me $580